Hi guys, I purposely, it won't focus on that and me. I want you to see some of what's going on back here with, I guess, the sun and the plasma and the faces and entities and whatever's going on back there. How corrupt is our government and what I've been going through the last almost 7 months, 1 week shy of 7 months. Pretty damn corrupt. And inept, basically. So I've tried doing things through the right paths and all of that. But let me go back to when this started a little bit. September 29th, 2024. I was working a security at a basically kind of abandoned place. And September 29th, I was outside all the time. It was, still kind of warmish outside my car, looking up at the sky, that kind of thing, nighttime security. Well, a triangle craft went over me. And just bear with me because I want you to see a little bit of maybe what you might be able to catch, some of the background, some of the faces, and maybe a little bit of plasma and things that might be going on back there. I saw a triangle craft go over, and what I assumed at the time was RT or 3B or similar. I figure it's no big deal to say that, even though it's, TS. It was on the second episode. I didn't watch X-Files until this shit started happening to me. It's been known since the 80s, right? Like, I figured it's no big deal. It was followed. It was actually, you guys will be interested. I felt kind of a hum in my body, like EM, like electromagnetic gravitic propulsion or something, like a subwoofer kind of thing. I felt that kind of tremor, I guess. But it sounded like a fake sound, like a projected sound of a 747. So maybe that's something I shouldn't say, but I did at the time and it got me fucked, so whatever. It sounded like a fake large jet. It was not a large jet. I see planes all the time. I work security outside for the last 2 years kind of thing. I know what planes look like. It was a triangular craft. Okay. And I had kind of that weird sensation, and it had like a fake propulsion sound being projected. It was followed by the AWACS, I forget the 106, I don't know, whatever, with a big dish on top. So I figured it was probably an AI pilot and we were tracking it. Like old tech by now. It's been 6 years, something like that. Old tech now, I just assumed, okay, that's us. That's weird, but whatever. I mean, it was definitely weird to look back like this and see it go over. I'm going to step aside a minute again here. So, in the following, week and a half, all kinds of weird aeronautic stuff. I saw very low, what I thought at the time was are those choppers? What are they? I made some videos of very low flying things that must be using night vision, like only one tiny light on, flying dark, almost no light. Now, things at the time were kind of heating up with Iran, possibly, at least that's what they're trying to push, the industrial complex. So, who knows? But I saw all these very low-flying things. I took some videos. Basically, now I think those were the DoD testing of the evtols, testing hybrid VTOLs, okay? And that's public information if you search. But I think that's what was going on. This was pre-New Jersey PsyOp. That didn't really happen until November. So at the very end of September into early October, I saw all this weird stuff going on with these low-flying, what I believe now were these DoD, Denmark, New Jersey drones, these evtols. Okay, that I believe most of them are ours, and now maybe some Chinese. But anyway, I shouldn't have said TR3B in a video on my little itty-bitty YouTube channel, and I shouldn't have said posted that stuff, because remember, basically, I caught them I live just south of Oak Ridge. This was in Knoxville, Tennessee. Basically, I kind of caught them doing pre-PsyOp testing. There was also a Predator drone at dusk going over Middle Tennessee. Predator drones don't typically go over Middle fucking Tennessee. There was also a flyby, and then they banked right over me of 5 AA-110 Warthogs. That might be unrelated, but I looked. There wasn't any air shows or anything like that going on. I'm going to step aside again and just kind of see if you can see any faces or anything going on. And the weird fake cloud layer underneath and all that. From then on, I was completely effed with for 2 months. What does that mean? That means that there was always this Asian car, like a Camry, that kept showing up and parking and trying to hide and keeping surveillance on me. I was behind a fenced-in private area, and it would like pull up with lights off, and I would catch it pulling over to do surveillance on me. Okay, so there was one vehicle that kept showing up to do surveillance on me to see if I'm there at work or something. I don't friggin' know. I started what seemed like getting tails on me at times. I was talking to my friend who had recently joined the FBI. At least I kind of think he's my friend. Talking to him, telling him all about everything weird that's friggin' going on. And there was a white panel van that showed up. I saw it drive away right as we hung up the phone call. And in that area, like, I know the cars that should be in the area kind of pulled over towards the private property where it's not really where they're supposed to be parking. Like a white surveillance kind of van. Yeah, actually. On a Friday night, very cold, 3-hour conversation with my buddy. As soon as I hang up, it kind of drives away. Keep in mind that this one vehicle, besides that, kept showing up. Keep in mind that late October, early November, I was hit with a biological fog. Sounded crazy at the time. First time seemed like it was a military gas canister. About to leave shift, I think 11:35 the first time. It seemed like all of a sudden, like I was hit. And, I go to check out and I'm on point, and I tell the relieving, I think he's still a sheriff's deputy, relieving me, what's going on. We drive around, can't find anything, etc. I'm going to step aside again, just take kind of a look-see, see if you notice any kind of eyes and faces, anything weird going on with the sun shining through, etc. So this goes back to back then. I guess I can't be sussing in this, but and then the smoke cloud, it seemed like it was right, like 20 yards. I had just gotten out of the car and it was like 20 yards, 20 yards to my right, kind of down a hill. Like maybe someone threw a gas canister. This is right before the election. We know that people in uniform might get attacked, etc. Couldn't find anything. However, my friend had, or the person that relieved me, he had served in Afghanistan. He said, yeah, it totally smells like some kind of military, smoke kind of thing. And he had a KPD officer respond with him, a friend, buddy. He said, hey, come check it out, do patrol the property with me. So he's got that kind of clout because he's been in the area forever, and he's still like probably a sheriff's deputy, volunteer, reservist, something. Like he still can make arrests, that kind of thing. 2 more times happened, and it was more and more smoke. And so much so that I kept calling 911, non-emergency. The third time, emergency. The night, 2 nights before the election. A whole lot of weird shit. And that's just from me seeing a triangle craft and the pre-New Jersey PsyOp big drone bullshit. Okay. So, unfortunately, I caught that early, meaning I got the attention of some of the aerospace companies and possibly, NSA, CIA, Alphabet Soup, DOD, DOE, and Oak Ridge, or whatever fucking Alphabet Soup, fucked with me. Probably my FBI friend thought it was most likely getting effed with by their security forces, illegally kind of harassing me, tailing me, that kind of thing. I even had a date with a woman that seemed very, very strange at the time when I felt like I was getting tailed by various cars, a setup date, and it seemed like a total honeypot. She's like, my husband's very, very high up and, military, and she works in Oak Ridge, and, she wants me to fuck her, and then she wants me to, but then it's like, no, only in a hotel, and I'm like, oh, shit, I'm fucking being honeypotted. Literally. She was fucking hot, short, big tits, big high up, military, whatever. Anyway, after that, kind of all that shit stopped after being effed with for 2 months. Oh yeah, there was something that majorly that happened that probably one of our agencies did, probably, allegedly, the night before the election to try and sway some votes, probably. Yeah, to try and hurt DJT, however you feel about him. But some stuff that happened that was weird. Okay, two months I'm fucked with. Boom, goes away. That gets me to, I'm going to step aside again. That gets me to, I know this is boring. It's just hard to talk about all this. Everything stops until May 13th. Yeah, May 13th. May 13th. I'm working, so I do armed security. I'm background checked. I also was working as a direct support professional. I've worked with autistic kids in the past. Realized, obviously, that's part of me, is a touch of the autism. And I was working with IDD adults, intellectually developmentally disabled. I was helping a woman. I was not med certified yet, so another vehicle had to come to give her her meds at 8 p.m. And as they were getting in to back up, I saw a whole bunch of kids playing in the middle of the street. And one female, probably like 11, maybe some of the kids were like 8, 9, that kind of thing. I talked to her, say, hey, can you guys hold up a minute? Hold up a minute while they back up. I don't want anyone to get hurt. She's like, yeah, a kid was just killed at this time a few weeks ago. I didn't know that. I looked it up. It was true. A kid was headed approximately just before 8 p.m. And killed previously. So like I'm doing this good deed to protect these kids as this car backs up. And as I turn around in the sloped driveway, you can see my earliest kind of video on 2 synchronized black orbs that look like dodecahedron, 20-sided, however you say that. They look like D20s you would use in D&D. Completely synchronized. At the time, I didn't realize they were synchronized. Until I had seen it multiple times, I didn't even realize they were completely synchronized. That kind of sets off my TISM, and now I always had a lot of geometric spatial intelligence. And I'll quickly say that, very weirdly, when I was about approximately 3rd grade, supposedly my principal or someone reported me to someone that was probably CIA, NSA. They give money for people to test people. So as a kid, they came to my house, though, and they paid cash. And AI says it was unusual, even that special program, for them to pay cash. Came to my house, I believe they gave me $320, $60 cash. They tested my IQ, 99.5% tile plus, off the charts, except what most kids finish in an hour sloppily. I took 3 hours to do, and, I almost got everything right, especially spatial intelligence. Also, at 15, I took the paper ASVAB before it was easier on the computer, and scored 89 on the paper ASVAB back in, 92 or so, which is pretty friggin' high back then before it got easier, where they were like, oh, we really want you to do nuclear propulsion theory and shit like that. Oh, hey, we cleared the clouds. They don't... Hey, that is friggin' interesting. I got one little ghost shape above me over there, and one little face shape still over there, and we still got this guy down here. We still got some weird guys down here, but it's interesting how it cleared up. Okay, so things were better. 5:13, see the 2 synchronized. I'm like, are those balloons? What are those? And I'm giddy because it's weird. I start paying attention to shapes. Like everything's kind of popping out at me. I'm seeing all the triangles and the clouds and like stuff like that. In that, I take pictures of the clouds and I see a glint of light in the clouds, and I actually got a picture of it, and then I got a video of it, and I'm like, oh shit, where is it? And in the very first 1 second of the video, I have a Nimitz Tic Tac, instantaneous acceleration. I start to video it, and boom, you gotta look, you will miss it unless you watch that video in slow motion. And it goes, and you can tell that I got the same cloud in a picture, so it's way on the right side of frame from my picture, a little bit over, like going at slow speed here, and then I start videoing it, recognizes I'm videotaping it, and in the first second, instantaneous Nimitz-like acceleration, Tic Tac. Okay, so now I got those videos uploaded. That puts me back on whatever agency and aerospace in the area, name them, throw a stone, you can hit them. And I think I happen to live in a very strange neighborhood where a lot of people work with top secret clearances, whether that's Y12 or any of the aerospace companies that supposedly only have 4 employees. Like, yeah, what's underground? And that kind of thing in Oak Ridge. And all that. So it's been 7 months now seeing UAP and NHI daily. Does non-human intelligence exist? I believe so, unless this is all AI already off the hook and I'm being... What's over there? Whoa! What the fuck's going on? Was that just like... Okay, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's a sun glare bubble. I don't know what that is. Okay, but anyway... 7 months, I see UAP all the time. Anytime I go outside, I am tracked, harassed, where they locked onto me with the DOD/Palantir drones or whatever the fuck they are. They lock onto me anytime I go home, even if when I was working late at night, etc. and so forth. They lock onto me. Okay. So lo and behold, even though I put in a application to do security to be contract security for FPS through DHS. That year, nothing happens. And I think I'm contacted late January, and then boom, it's like all of a sudden they want me once I've seen 2 synchronized orbs and an instantaneous Tic Tac. At least it feels that way. And boom, I'm kind of fast-tracked. I'm in a class. I do all that. I show up to work the first time at a federal building. I literally park in the garage, come up the elevator, and the guy I'm replacing, who also previously was Army and then works for them, but just works for them on the weekend, and he's still probably Army, and who knows what's going on. He literally comes up to me, which I realize is hidden by the pole from one of the cameras, and he goes, "Hey, you should really watch this movie, MKULTRA. They like to grab people with special abilities and, like Muay Thai skills and things like that." How does he know I even have Muay Thai skills, MMA skills, or anything to even refer to anything like that? This is what the guy says to me. Also that night, and 2 weeks after that, on Fridays, twice, I feel like my water was drugged with some kind of LSD or something. I do not do drugs. I'm a very clean, sane, sober, moral, mentally healthy person with no issues whatsoever. Other than being a little weird and a little bit of tism and a martial arts and stuff like that. So, yeah, shit was weird working there. There's some who knows what agencies in unmarked rooms. There's some other weird stuff going on in that building and in that area. And I'm being messed with probably by the NHI, if they're real NHI, and this wasn't programmed. I thought they were fucking with me even in my reports. I'm like, strange fake cameras, strange fake because it looked digital, strange fake, it looked like a simulation. And I'd see white swirlies and black ghost kind of movement things through the cameras at 2 a.m. in the morning, and no, I wasn't losing my mind. I'm just observant, and I would see the movement, and I would get some on weird stuff. How much was NHI, if there's real NHI messing with me? How much was the federal government alphabet soups fucking with me? Because what they do is they try to make you sound crazy. If you've seen some of their real tech or even the real deal stuff, then they fuck with you and psyop you. I mean, are the drones on me that can do weird shit, are they DOD? I think most of them are probably DOD and Palantir or whatever. That means they're practicing their targeting equipment on me. They're locked on as soon as I pull into my subdivision. Then as soon as I get out of my car, I'll see one coming down from the same spot all the time. I see 1 to 3, sometimes even 5 on me. Same thing at work locations, etc. So yeah, someone was into me then. They had already spotted me. They'd already fucked with me the year before. They left me alone. They re-triggered me again because I had seen some real shit, and they've targeted individual harassment of me since then. I try to report this. Men have come after me 3 times too. Whether all 3 were because of some agency or at least some aerospace companies that break the laws because they're multi-billion-dollar companies that live outside the law, and they have tech that doesn't really even report to POTUS or SecWar. They are out of control. So 3 times guys came after me. Maybe the first time wasn't. They were just thugs going to rob me or kill me coming out of a range. 2 weeks later at work, they showed up, 2 guys obviously looking for me. And some of, with all the other weird shit going on, I freaked out, stressed out a bit, to be honest. But then even weeks later, when I wasn't working at a nice restaurant in a nice area, I saw all kinds of stuff in the air. They get the data tracking from my phone and whatever. I tried reporting this to the FBI, including the weird neighborhood I live in, which still to this day I feel is true. A lot of the houses, always dark. I just took a video at 6 o'clock. I'm like, there's no fucking lights on. In fact, the 2 DOD or whoever guys, aerospace guys that show up for whatever reason, equipment monitoring every 2 times a month, it's completely empty. Always had a light on that seemed like they were doing some kind of, probably a dog whistle for these guys. And yet I'm the real reason they keep coming around. They were doing some dog whistle or EM or microwave tech or something is my guess. But that sounded too crazy. The FBI, who basically didn't, they looked at the synchronized orbs, they looked at some other weird shit like some of my Tic Tac videos, they looked at a Tic Tac and then some weird fire drone shooting flamethrowers out of it. Luckily, the girl that was with me, the woman that was with me, works in psychology, is a therapist, licensed therapist, and basically kind of a nice guy with good intentions, but basically he dropped the ball after he talked to her, just trying to fuck me, because then I'd lose my armed security and my DSP and all that kind of stuff. To make sure that I wasn't a threat to myself or anyone else. And I talked to him on the phone. I'm like, dude, I'm cool, man. I got the dogs on my lap. I'm chilling. I'm dealing with this better than I think almost any human being could with this ontological shock kind of thing. So it just stopped. And so everyone I tweet, no one replies. No, everyone in government I've tried to reach, it seems like my emails are hidden in DC for weeks. I got one auto reply 5 weeks later from Luna, an auto reply 5 weeks after I emailed the direct emails. I do the contact on their direct things to say I live in the area and all of these things, and almost never gets through. I've gotten one hold of Burlison's, supposedly a guy who works for Burlison, former cop. Oh, it's probably tech. I'm like, well, yeah, as I said, a lot of it probably is black tech and PsyOp on me. But you see the real stuff, and then they fuck with you with the black tech, and they make everything confused so you can't figure anything out. Quite frankly, I don't think they got a lot figured out. Aerospace has always been a cult, and Nazis, and that's true. Those aren't crazy. You do research, they've always been in the cult. NASA was started by Nazis, JPL, look into the background, all of that friggin' stuff. I wasn't into this at all then. Let's step aside a minute. And it's just dirty, dirty, dirty. So FBI hasn't done shit. Everyone I tweet, where's it go? Oh, go. They all ignore me. Everyone in Congress, in the committee, even though I have confirmed Eric Burlison's office has the videos, including the instantaneous Tic Tac, including, I get shit every day, including the synchronized orbs, including I believe real NHI contact with an interdimensional organic jellyfish by the Blinky coming in and out that's waiting on me for my back porch. I got a green light that goes around. Or maybe that's PsyOp, but a green light that would show up at a certain location every few weeks and interacting with me to help me out when I got NHI, other stuff, kind of demonic stuff, attacking me. Or maybe it's PsyOp, and I got the sky turning into dragons on video, the whole fucking sky. It looks like Project Bluebeam testing on me. So what are the aerospace companies and the government up to? Because FBI hasn't fucking helped me. Congress hasn't helped me. I know I've gotten them stuff that's like undeniable. My Blinky organic, you go like, oh, well, maybe that's a kite, maybe that's something. While I'm having an 6-minute, 36-second interaction with a probably interdimensional organic, it didn't look like a mechanical thing from that Afghan video, an organic free-floating in the air jellyfish. It's kind of blinking out of our dimension. There's a white spirit. I take the camera off, a white spirit that goes by. No, it's not a plane, a white spirit looking thing that goes by. And you have a whole council of cloud entities lined up that look to be judging me as I interact with this interdimensional being. That is a whole lot of anomalies. You can explain one, but not more than two, right? So there's this, and then there's literally like, 10 or 12 separate looking face entities that are all lined up like a council intergalactic federation judging me. What's the real, what's the not? Half of the tech stuff might be tech, and maybe these guys are the real NHI guys that our government still doesn't really fucking understand, even though they're in occult manipulation and this and that and whatever. So FBI hasn't helped. I honestly feel like some agency drugged me twice was some kind of, I mean, I'm a straight-laced guy. I drink one beer and I'm tipsy. I drink like one beer a month, maybe, if that. I think it's been like 4 months because I'm broke of all this. It's made me secluded. That's what they do. If you see some real shit, they hammer you with other tech shit, and it's hard to figure out what's what, and they F with you. I do think I'm a psionic beacon. I think now even the Army and people are starting to realize I'm the psionic beacon, not the fucking DOD guys with dog whistles in the back. I'm watching TV 3 nights ago, and the house kind of shakes, even though it's at usually 21,000 feet, 21,000 feet. A 46 Poseidon or whatever it is. Maybe I got the two confused, but a 46, big old, from another state, and it's going to do its loop. And it's going to do its loop directly over my house. I get on X. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys looking for? It's cold as shit. But if you want me to go outside and check, I'll check. So I'm finally like, oh shit, they're starting their loop again and go directly over my house from out of state. So I go outside. I get a video of a triangle craft. I've got videos of everything from, and pictures, I mean, thousands of pictures, little black things, little white orbs. I get some of the orbs. Last weekend at this location, I'm taking a video of the moon. It's being weird. I see the little crescent in the corner, and then it moves to the side. Grok has confirmed it looks like a big fucking saucer that literally is moving away from, who knows elevation. I usually don't get saucers, but Grok confirmed a large, slowly moving oval saucer shape moved away from the moon. And yeah, that's not usually what I get, but it basically was right overhead. I'm filming the moon. I kind of see something in the corner, and I'm like, holy shit. It's like they like realize they're on camera, and then they react sometimes. I don't know what that was. Maybe that was tech. People are mostly interested in like the craft, but that's not the most interesting thing. Do I think any of it's ET alien? Not a lot. Like extraterrestrial, I had hoped so, not a lot. I do sometimes feel there's cloaked triangle craft over me. That could be us. That could be them. That could be ET. This saucer, maybe that was ET. But a lot more of it is of the NHI variety. A lot of it is demonic. I've gotten some angels. I've got an egg with rotating 3 rings around it, just like biblical angels. It's been nonstop. And unlike others, I don't have to go to the desert and charge money and do a whole seance and shit. They're just on me all the time. And I think even the Air Force is starting to, I think they've realized that now. DNI Gabbard would be great. I would like a job. I lost my job trying to report UAP activity over federal property. 2 of the times over, I will wrap up this video. 2 of the times were during my rounds federal property. That includes 2 Tic Tacs, and then even with a witness, like a homeless guy waiting on a bus. And then I didn't even know in the video, you can see what looks like a 5-dimensional slinky, I called them, Tic Tac, coming over one of the buildings to go, oh shit, you can see me. I consider that NHI contact. I think that was the real deal. I also, in videos on that federal property, thought I see a glint in the sky that looks like maybe an angelic kind of light kind of thing. I didn't realize until weeks later there was a little devil manta ray class that flies quickly, I mean really quickly, from off screen. They have a 4 to 5 second dogfight. The angel light shoots up and the demonic tail manta ray thing slinks away. That was over federal property, which is right next to the federal property I had also access to, where my representative, who's been ignoring me, Tim Burchett, who I thought I would like, and said, hey, I'll take him to lunch and give him a USB of all this, and I guess they're all controlled too. So what the fuck is going on? I don't know. I know a lot of, some have seen interdimensional good. The green light guy, that seems to be my friend. He kind of moves like maybe he was the same as Blinky the jellyfish. Those interdimensional things seems good. We got the sky entities that are usually demonic, except when they're like the kind of more vertical ones that line up and they look like they're a council federation looking down on me. I know that sounds crazy, but you watch the video. I certainly can't make that appear in the clouds. I don't know if they can with tech. I don't know. I know that I'm not crazy because it's on video and pictures, and Burlison's office has confirmed it, but they won't talk to me. They won't get back to me. Nobody will. Why will Tim Burchett not meet with me? Especially when a couple of the times we're over federal property. How much is tech? How much is them fucking with me? Because I saw some real NHI really attracted me, and I saw some of their black tech, and then they got the drones on me all the time to harass me and everything else. I don't know. I just know it sucks. I'm going to step aside. I babbled way too much, but it's hard to compress all this to go, you know what? The government's been pretty fucked up to me because I think they're part of the PsyOp on me, but it's not all a PsyOp. And now they're monitoring me. So it's like, dude, just give me a fucking job and I'll sign an NDA. I'm broke. I need to afford groceries. This has ruined my life. They have ruined my life. Someone in the government, I think from that fourth floor where that is cleared out at 6 p.m., then suddenly someone just appears at 9 p.m., 10 p.m. at night. Where the fuck did they come from? There was some other weird stuff, but I got to be careful what I say. But there's some hidden agencies in there, and I do think they drugged me my first Friday after someone tells me about MKUltra, trying to warn me. And 2 weeks later on a Friday. I mean, I had to walk around with my water bottle because they got me that first night, and they got me 2 weeks after that. I told the FBI, it's hard to prove that. But they did MKUltra, they're doing MKUltra, and I am not crazy. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I've never had mental health problems. But this is a lot. And I don't know. So you see some real stuff, you're targeted. I know that. Was I picked out as a child? There's some weird stuff there. You know, when I'm applying to the government and then I'm like, hey, I scored perfect score, 250 out of 250 DHS. How about someone giving me a job? And I'm stupid and tagged CIA. I don't know. I got someone's attention. And they targeted me, and they still are, and it's fucking ruined my life. And I saw a white glint up top. We got weird clouds going on again now. And I'm a very background check person that still is protecting property. That at 7:30 net, I'll probably get all kinds of these DoD Denmark style drones. They always go directly over me wherever I am. Okay. So wherever I am, they always go directly over me. Like it's me targeted, whether they're tech or they're other. And I've seen other kind of mimic the tech that just went over. So, and I've seen the DoD try to, they scared the Blinky, the nice, it sounds crazy, the nice jelly, the nice green light guy. They like super fast, like these DoD type drone thingies went trying to find him. And now we got the Air Force regularly circles over me trying to find what is attracted to me, not their fucking, all the guys that work at Y12 and what's the other one, and they're very, very weird neighborhood. Probably into the occult and satanic and shit, because all the aerospace companies are, if you look into it. They always have been. But they're really coming right above for me, and the Air Force is starting to figure it out. Secretary of War, DNI Gabbard, I will work with you. I just need some job for groceries, and I will sign an NDA. How about saying stop the PsyOp stuff to confuse me, and I'll help you with the real NHI thing, and I probably have figured out some things that even you guys don't know, even though you've been messing around with this stuff for 75 years. Okay? Plus, recently I got some of these circle ones that guy on X that charges people in the desert or whatever, some of these circle ones, and I don't know, like where I am right now, if you maybe look at this thing here, if those are Chinese drones right above this property, that's not a good thing. So I'm still a patriotic American, I'm trying to help, but the government has fucked me over bad, they bent me over, they fucking probably drugged me, they probably sent guys after me at least that third time. If the second time at work wasn't a paid off to look like random violence right as I was about to walk out the door and do my rounds, the third time when they showed up at a nice restaurant, pulled backwards just like the other guys, to pull backwards to hide their plates in an area, and 3 guys were in there, the response time looked like it was from some aerospace company. They sent security guys from Oak Ridge because I had Tic Tacs, I had a ascending comet trail thing, like a Tetra class, on video, and the pictures automatically stamp your location, and so they got the metadata, and they responded right as I was about to get in my car. Luckily, they knew I was in the lot. They didn't know I was right there behind the fucking, with a gun, right behind, not drawn, but behind the engine block, and I'm talking shit, and then when I put the camera out to start videoing them, and they took off, 3 guys. So I got that on video. I got all that on video, and I think most of it was the government. So fuck them. How about you guys do your job, protect Americans, stop the PSYOP on me. If you want to work with me, give me a job and NDA me, and stop the PSYOP stuff and the Palantir stuff and the AI controlled shit that is confusing things, and let me see what's what and interact to help you out.